Good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? This is your favourite teacher, Mr. George, and today we are doing a fabulously exciting regression demonstration for the Investigating Science Year 12 Assessment Task 1. So today I thought I'd walk you through how to do all the Excel gypsy magic that you need to do for this assessment. It's a bit tricky, and maybe some of you had trouble following along in the library the other day, so hopefully this helps. This is just a live stream to YouTube, so hopefully this turns out okay. I'm just going to do it in one hit. The first thing we need to do is we need to calculate an average reaction distance. So once you've done all the experiment and you've set up all your numbers, I just magically made these in Excel. We need to make an average. So the first thing we do is we're going to do an equation today. So we start with equals. And I'll go average, press tab, I highlight my row, I end it with a bracket, and I press enter. Awesome. And then I go to my bottom right hand corner, I drag down, and it applies that formula all the way through. Awesome. Now, that's the average reaction distance. So I calculated all the distances here. Over here, we need to calculate the reaction time. And we do this by using the formula. Square root, open bracket, this value, close bracket, times 0.045. We press enter, and that should give us our reaction time. So a distance of 7 centimeters will take 0.119 seconds to catch, basically. Now, we've created that formula, we drag it all the way down, and that's great. There's a few too many decimal places there, so we'll select all that, click Format Cells, go Number, and we'll pick 3 decimal places. And that should be sufficiently accurate for us. Once you've done that, the next thing we need to do is set up our regression analysis. Now, I've already got that enabled, but I'll try and sort that out now. So what we need to do, we need to have this data analysis message over here. But you probably don't have that enabled on your computer because not many people do, unless you're prone to doing regression analysis in your spare time, which I imagine most people aren't. Let's go File. We go Options. Let's go Add-ins. Now we've got this analysis toolpak. We go Go. I'm going to uncheck mine just so you can see what it looks like. And I'll go again, File, Options, Add-ins. And now if I go for my inactive application add-ins, this is what you'll probably see. Click my analysis toolpak, press go, I select the checkbox, press OK, and now this data analysis tab has magically appeared. Awesome. I'm just going to change something because I realise there's a problem that's going to happen. Move that there. I'll move that there. You see my values just changed. That's because there's some gypsy magic formulas that I've got happening. Okay, let's click Data Analysis. So remember, we want to do regression analysis. We click Regression. Press OK. We need to find the Y range. So that will be our reaction time. And then we select our range, and that will be our age. Oh, that's not going to work very nicely. I've stuffed that. I am just going to quickly make a little change. It won't like the merged cells that I've got here. There we go. I'll just center it. Oh, I'll center it to make it look nice. Let's try that again. Let's go data analysis, regression, Y range. Awesome. X range. We're comparing age versus reaction time. Age is on the X range because we expect that to be our independent variable. That's the one we are changing. We select labels, we select residuals, and we select line fit plots. After that, press OK, and it makes a new spreadsheet. We'll move this over here. Well, I'll try and move it over here. No, it did work, and I'll rename it Regression Analysis 1. Significance, and I'll just make these things a bit bigger. Make them look a bit bigger. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a pretty good correlation because I made up some formulas and I expect a good correlation between those things. Let's also make that a little bit bigger just so we can read that easier. Now, one of the things we need to do, we need to look at our R squared value. That is this one. Let's just highlight that. Cool. That's something we're interested in. This is a correlation. The closer this value is to 1, the closer the linear relationship. The closer to 0, the weaker that relationship. We've got 30 observations. That's because we did an experiment on 30 people. And we've also got our significance F value. Now my value there reads 1.76248 E negative 22. So that means 1.76 times 10 to the minus 22. That's incredibly small. That's because I made up my data through some Excel formulas rather than doing the actual experiment, which you guys are required to do. You expect a value somewhere between 0 and 1, and if it's greater than 0.05, your data is not that good, but that's okay for now. That is another number we are interested in, so I'll highlight that. Now, what we need to do, let's look at our residual output. So our residual output is what Excel calculates as what our values should be, which is our orange values over here. We have our predicted reaction time, and we have our residuals. And the residuals just means how far is the predicted value from the actual value that we entered. Okay. The further away it is, the more of an outlier that data point is. Now these data, I should say, are pretty good, and we don't really need to remove the outliers, but for the sake of being true to the assignment, let's do that. For this assessment, we need to pick 5 outliers, and the 5 outliers are the 5 that are furthest away from 0. These are all very close. That makes it a little bit tricky. But what we need to do is just pick the 5 biggest numbers, and I'll highlight those. So we go, I guess that's one of them. Doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative, just interested in the size or magnitude of the number. So I'll highlight that. That looks pretty big as well. If I make a mistake on this, keep in mind, I'm doing this live, and I'm just doing it in one take as well. Okay, where's the next one? .01, highlight that. I need 5 outliers. So where are my next biggest ones? 0.06. And let's say 0.008. Those are my biggest outliers. So I select my 5 biggest outliers, and I'll see they are observations 1, 8, 16, 24, and 25. So now I need to change my original data. Now we could be more precise with our definition of outliers, which is 1.5 times the interquartile range. However, we're just making it a bit simpler in this case. Okay, thank you very much. We're keeping it simple, alright? Calm down. So we've got raw data. What we need to do is we need to make a copy of our raw data because I don't want to change that. So copy, a sheet, and I'll paste that data there. And I'll just widen up these things, these columns, so it looks a bit nicer. I don't know why this is so big. Let's put that there. Awesome. I'm going to rename this sheet. I'm going to rename it Removing Outliers. We go Regression Analysis 1. So I need to remove observations 1, 8, 16, yada yada. I'm going to do that now. I select observation 1 and I just delete that row. And then I'm going to keep forgetting this, so we go 8, delete, delete. The other ones were 24 and 25. Cool. Now we've removed our outliers. We've hopefully improved the correlation of our data. And what we'll do now is we'll do another set of regression analysis. Let's go data analysis again. We go regression. Input Y range. You'll notice it's trying to select the old value or the old column. Now we've got a smaller column because we've deleted five values. Go here, and we go age. Awesome. Labels, residuals, and my fit plots are already ticked. We press OK, and we get it again. We'll make it bigger, so it looks a bit nicer. Let's widen our columns. Where's my significance F? That's not too bad. Now, this, I'll just move this here. Oh my lord. Who has a phone conversation when someone's recording a live stream? Close that door. Let's go. So, this, we'll call this page, or sheet, Regression Analysis 2. We've got our asked where value again. I'll just highlight that. And I'll highlight my significance F. Now, my significance F is again extremely small, in fact, absurdly small, but that's because of my data that I made up. And if we look back at, I'll go raw, is that what I want? Yeah, that is what I want. If we look at our asked where value in regression analysis 1, it was 0.96. If we look at it again, it's 0.97 or 0.98 if I want to round up to be precise. That indicates we've now got a stronger correlation between our data after removing the outliers. That's pretty good. And that's what we need to do. That's basically all the Excel gypsy magic that we needed to do, as far as I'm aware. Was there anything else that we needed to do? Let's have a look. We've done that. We've done that. And then you just need to answer these questions on the back of the page. In fact, we've just answered question 5 and question 6. Awesome. That's how we do it. If you have any questions, ask me in Google Classroom or ask me in actual class before the end of the year. Whoop, didn't need that. I will see you guys later. Have a good holidays. Have a good Christmas.